What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is that time of the year once again. We have opening night for NBA, which means we have the Rockets taking on OKC in OKC. And then we have the Warriors taking on the Lakers in LA. So we got two honestly competitive games, two really good games to open the season. Kind of surprised by it. Sometimes we get some pub stomp games, but I really like this slate. So that being said, before we jump into these two games, I do want to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. So I do this in every single video. If you're new to the channel, if you're new here for NBA, then I appreciate you guys watching. But I do this every video. If the video gets 250 likes, I will pick a random comment down below to win a free month of our VIP. So $25 value just for dropping a comment and leaving a like on the video. You do have to be a subscriber to win, so make sure you guys leave a comment, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and let's pick our winner from yesterday. So the winner is for Clayton Smith 19, who said, let's get this bread. Well, Clayton, I hope you had a great day yesterday, man, for NFL Sunday. I know I posted two slips for you guys. One of them ended up cashing. This one cashed. The other one did chalk, unfortunately, but it was due to, I think, McLaughlin ended up not getting two PATs, which really sucked for us. Game ended up being a little bit less competitive than I thought on the Bucs side of things. So it is what it is on that one. We did get this nice dub here, though. But send me a message on Discord, Clayton. I'll get you added for that free month of VIP. And I do appreciate you guys watching and leaving the comments. That being said, guys, if you want to join our Discord and get all of the plays that we post, first of all, the Discord is free to join. Link to the free Discord is down in the description. If you guys want to get every single slip that I'm going to be playing tonight for tonight's NBA slate, then you can sign up through our WAP. There's our regular membership, then there's our elite membership. The elite membership is going to be more one-on-one style things where you guys can send me messages directly, bankroll questions, anything like that. We'll do live streams a couple times a week and ask any questions you have there as well. But anyways, those options are there. Links down in the description for those. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. But let's go ahead and talk about these two games, guys. Let's look at how these games are projected to be and things like that. So right now, you do have in game one at 7:30 tonight Eastern time, OKC versus the Rockets. OKC right now minus 240 favorites and minus 6.5 on the spread. Total in this game sitting at 227.5. Public betting has 55% on Houston winning this game at plus 234. And then they have 51% of the money on OKC covering this spread, which that's a tough one. It's -6 versus the Rockets. I think this game is more competitive than we know the Rockets are a pretty decent team. Looking at the Rockets' new depth chart right now, they're starting five. You got Jabari Smith, Sengun, KD, Amin Thompson, and then Reed Shepherd. So KD right now looking like he's going to be the lead scorer on his team. He's going to be that go-to guy. So I just wanted to pull up that depth chart because I honestly wanted to look myself just to see how they had everything starting right now, and it looks pretty good, man. But we'll take a look. Let's take a look at OKC and then take a look at the head-to-head matchups versus Houston. So they played five games last season. OKC won 3 of 5. Looking at the last game on the season that they played against, OKC ended up losing to Houston, a 111 to 125, and I'm right on that, right? Yes. So Houston ended up winning the second game of the season, 116 to 119, and opening game they got beat 107 to 126. The first game they played on 11:08. So it is hard. It's opening games, man. A lot of this is going to take a lot of these players getting back in shape, and a lot of them might be a little bit rusty. So we'll see how this goes opening game. I think OKC wins this game. I'm just going to throw that out there. I do think OKC takes the dub at home. The team's just too good, man. They really are. Champions from last year, and I just think they come out here hoping to start the season off strong. They're going to be fired up, and I think the Rockets are going to be fired up as well, which is why I think this game does stay close. But I will be taking OKC to win this game if you do want to take a money line, but it is pretty dang juiced, so I don't recommend really playing the odds right there. If you want to take the total, you could play the total here. If you look at 227.5 from these teams, they have went over this total, and sorry, your boy's got something in his eye. But anyways, the total has been over in 80% of the games that they played. So they played 5 games. 4 of the 5 games they went over 227 or over their total for that game. So the game line right here was 227, 229, 220, 221, and they actually went over the 227.5 in both games, or in all 4 of 5 games. One of them being a 265-point total in March. So I think this game could be potentially high scoring. Now, here's the way that I broke this down before looking at any of these numbers. To me, in my head, I was like, OKC Rockets probably going to be more slow-paced, and then Warriors Lakers are going to be more fast-paced. That's the way I looked at it. If you look at the odds right now for the totals, you got 73% of the money on the over on the Rockets game, and 78% of the money on the over on the total for the Lakers game. So It could fall either way for sure. I almost want to lean the under, but I'm not going to take that. I don't think I will. It is plus 103. It's not bad odds. I might sprinkle a little bit on it, but we'll see. Right now, the stats are showing that these two teams play pretty fast paced versus each other, over 227.5. So you guys can do what you want with that information. Make your own decision on that one. Looking at game 2, we got Golden State versus the Lakers, like we talked about. Right now, the Lakers are plus 132 at home, plus 2.5 on the spread, and the total in this game is 226.5, like we already talked about. Right now, more money is on Golden State right now. 53% of the money on them winning, and then 66% of the money on them covering a 2.5-point spread. 78% of the money on the total on this one. We've already talked about that. Me, I'm kind of leaning Golden State in this game, in the opening game, to win, just mainly because LeBron is out. So one of the key players for the Lakers is not going to be starting this game. They do have Ayton this season. Obviously, they have Doncic. So I think this game does stay competitive. Head-to-head, the Lakers won 3 of 4 games last season versus Golden State. The first 2 games of the season, they ended up winning 115-113, then 118-108. And the final game of the season, Golden State actually took the win, 123-116. So all these games, honestly, close, within 10 points. So I'm expecting a good game, but I'm kind of leaning Golden State on this one. So if you want to take a money line, my 2 money line picks are going to be OKC and Golden State. That should give you a plus money play. This one's going to be a tough one, especially in LA. I do think this is a very electric game, and I think the total over 226.5 cashes on this one as well. If you want to play that for plus 104 odds, the odds are pretty good there if you play it on Prizepicks or whatever platform that is. So. All right, guys, so taking a look at the player props. So right now on Outlier, I have 2 games selected. I have the Rockets, Thunder, and then Warriors, Lakers. I wanted to filter this out to get all the other NBA games because if you're looking on Outlier for NBA, there's going to be so many props from so many teams on here that it makes it a little bit overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes they'll have the wrong games, like they might have the Lakers in 4 days playing a different team, and you'll have props versus that team, and it'll just throw you off a little bit. So I always like in NBA to go select the 2 teams or the 4 games or whatever that I'm looking at props on and have those selected so it actually filters it. But that being said, let's talk about the first play that I like on this game. So the first one's going to be for our man KD. I like Kevin Durant right now in this matchup. Houston, I already told you guys, obviously it's going to be his first game with Houston. We all know that. But I do think that he's going to be the go-to guy to score. And we know KD's that guy who can score on anyone at any point in time. It just depends on how he's feeling that game. He does get a little bit lazy. You can look at his last 10 games from last season. He went over his points line, which is 23.5. He went over this in 4 of 10 games, which is a 40% hit rate. And this is a tough matchup. There's no head-to-head data that I can click right now versus OKC. But for the 2024 season, he ended up cashing the 23.5 line in 63% of the games. So he ended up averaging 26.56 points at the end of last season. Now, right now, there's some decent value you can find on KD if you click points here. So we're on Prizepicks. We're coming over here. We're going to find Kevin Durant, and he's really not on the board. There he is. So 21.5 or 23.5. So let's take a look at the value here. So at 23.5, we're just going to click a random prop. This is going to be your 3x, obviously. If you buy this to 21.5, let's do that. You still get a 2.5x value for a 2-point discount. Now, these lines are very sharp in NBA. Usually you can get a little bit of an edge during early season. I will say that. The lines are just going to get sharper the further the season goes. But Kevin Durant at 21.5 points is a play that I really like, and you're still getting good value on it. So that's going to be pick number 1. I'm taking KD to give us 22 points. If we take this line and move it to 21.5, take a look at it from last season. He cashed it almost 80% of games last season. Now, like I said, I can't click any head-to-head data right now versus OKC. If you come over here and look at OKC's points defense overall from last season, it's the same team. Unless they just have a rough season, they're probably going to be pretty dang similar. But points per game, they allowed 107.6 points per game, which is the 3rd-ranked defense in the league. Now, I like to look at them versus point guards and shooting guards, and then versus pretty much each position. Don't give up many points to the point guards. Shooting guards, middle of the pack. Small forwards, 9th. Power forwards, 6th. Then the center's 3rd. So pretty much the only position they don't have a top 10 defense against is a shooting guard, which Houston doesn't really have. I like Amon Thompson. They have a good team, but KD's the guy. I don't think they're going to hold KD to less than 20 points for sure. 22, I think he cashes for us, and I'm going to be locking that in. So that is going to be pick number 1 of the day. Great hit rate from last season. He was averaging 18.1 field goal attempts per game in 36 minutes. I'm expecting expecting him to step it up this season playing for Houston. It's just my opinion. I think last year he was kind of fed up with the Suns. There's a lot of games you saw him get frustrated. We know KD wanted to leave, and I think this could be a season where he actually pops off. So we'll see what happens. Opening game versus the reigning champs. Good defense, but KD should give us 22. So that's my thought process on that game, or on KD. You can get him right now on parlay play. If you take him, you can get him at 20.5 points for a regular payout right now. This is a $10 max, and they actually gave me $10 in promo funds. So if you're playing on parlay play, they do give a lot of promo funds. So this actually works out perfect. I got promo funds, then I have this promo play that I can only put $10 on. So we'll lock in a slip with that live, and you guys can get that for as well. They also have a Curry free square over on Prizepicks if you haven't locked it in yet, and depending on what your limit is, I can play $100 on free squares since I'm Prizepicks VIP. Some people are limited to $5. Some people it gets up to like $35. But depending on what that is, you could have a nice little double up here as well. And for some people, that's a lot of your bankroll. So there it is. If you want to lock in these two together, I think that's a good slip, and I think KD cashes that line. Jumping into the second pick of the day, and actually before I do that, I do want to pull KD up on Props Madness because this is a good platform to use if you're looking for, it gives you pretty much what Outlier has, but they have one thing Outlier does not have, and it's this little season shooting zones. So it shows you how many shots a player takes from a certain position, and then it shows you the defense from the opposing team from that position. So we're going to look at KD, and you can see KD has a tough matchup. I will say that. He shoots 26% from behind the three-point line, 22% mid-range, 27% in the paint, and then he shoots 15% under the rim. So he has a orange matchup pretty much everywhere except in the paint where he shoots 27% of his shots, so a quarter of his shots from right here. It's not a great matchup in terms of scoring-wise, but like I said, they don't have many go-to guys. KD and Sengun's probably going to be their lead scorers in this game, in my opinion, and I think that 22 points is pretty low, and even with this, I just wanted to show it, to be honest with you guys, but even with this tough matchup, I think it's a good play. That being said, let's jump into pick number 2. So the second pick of the day that I want to take from the Houston Rockets is going to be for our man Sengun. So we're going to lock in Sengun over rebounds. So right now, Sengun's, if I can type his name in, is sitting at right 10.5 boards, 8.5 boards. So you can get him at 8.5 boards right now. He cashed this line in 8 of his last 10 games from last season. Obviously, all of these are playoff games versus Golden State. He cashed it every single game. If you look at him last season, he cashed this line 73% of games last season. He had averaged 10.5 rebounds per game on the season. Or head-to-head data, he averaged 9 rebounds per game versus OKC. He actually was playing pretty good versus OKC boards-wise, except for that last game. Last game, he only had 2 rebounds. So that one maybe was an outlier. I don't know. If you look at OKC's rebounds defense, they give up bottom 10 in the league in terms of rebounds allowed overall to every position. If you go to the center position, they give up middle of the pack around 12.4 rebounds per game to the center. Sengun should feast a little bit. This is a tough matchup. I'm not going to lie, OKC's a pretty decent rebounding team, but Sengun for 8.5. I like the value here. Now, you can buy him down if you want. If we pull him up on parlay play real quick, Sengun, or Prizepicks, I mean, his line is 9 on Prizepicks. I don't like that. That push potential out of there is pretty garbage. So if I was going to play this on Prizepicks, I don't like push potential on this line in particular, just because I could see a world where Sengun lands on 9 quite often. So for me, I would probably buy Sengun to 7.5. If you play these together, you still get a double up with these 2 slips, so it's still a pretty good value right there, and that's honestly not a bad slip at all. It is 2 Rockets players, so you can't play them together, but you could throw in something else that you like and have probably a 3x. If we get Sengun over here on parlay play, let's take a look. His board line and 9.5, 8.5 is a 1.64x. So that's not a bad payout. 7.5 is a 1.32x. Playing this on parlay play, which I can't play them together. We'll lock in 2 slips here in a minute. I do want to lock in this promo with something as well for you guys live on video. So we'll have 2 or 3 slips at least. But Sengun boards, I think it's a good play. 8.5, 7.5, anywhere between 7.5 and 8.5, I think it's a good line. Or obviously, if you want to go lower for a lower payout, you can do that as well. But I do think he gives us 9 boards tonight, and it could end up being 9 on the dot. So if you want to take the risk at 9 on Prizepicks for that regular payout, you're more than welcome. But for me, I don't like the 9 line, so I'll either play 8.5 on a different platform, or I'll play 7.5 on Prizepicks. That's just kind of what I'm looking at. So that is going to be pick number 2. I don't think Props Madness shows anything different in terms of boards or anything like that. Sengun, you can see where his points chart is. He shoots 53% under the rim, going against the second ranked defense under the rim from last year. Not really anything that shows anything different for boards. And I'm still new to this platform, guys, so there's a lot of stuff that I don't know how to use. So if there is something different on here for boards and you want to let me know, just let me know, and I'll try to start incorporating that into the videos. But Sengun is pick number 2. Jumping into pick number 3 of the day, we're going to be taking the center from the Lakers. So we're taking the new guy. We're taking our man Deandre Ayton. So we're taking Ayton to give us rebounds once again. 9.5 boards for Ayton, I think is a good play. So we're taking the big man from the Lakers. Obviously, last year they tried Mark Williams with the little Hornets trade they had, and it didn't work out for them because of some trade deadline or whatever bullcrap that ended up being. But they got Ayton now, and I think Ayton could be a good guy and a guy that they need, especially with LeBron being out in this game. Looking at DeAndre, he had 10.8 rebounds per game on average of his last 10 games of the season. Obviously, you have to take the last 10 games of the season with a grain of salt. I just like to look at them. Looking at his 2024 season overall, he averaged 10.15 rebounds, 20 of or 50% of games with 30 minutes game played. So he had 15.7 rebounds chances, averaging right at 10. So right at this line that he needs, a little bit less. Head-to-head data versus Golden State, he had 11 rebounds in the only game he played. Now, if you look at Golden State's rebounds defense, they have a middle-of-the-pack, 15th ranked defense, giving up 44 rebounds per game. If you go to the center position, they have a bottom 5 defense, giving up 13.1 rebounds per game to the center position. Now, Lakers team's a little bit small, man. They're going to definitely need need a guy to get some boards for them, especially with LeBron being out. I think Ayton's going to be the guy tonight, and I think 10.5 boards is a little bit high. I would like to play this line at 9.5, to be honest with you. I think he could give us 11, but getting 10, I think he gives us 10 for sure. Nothing's for sure. I'm just saying that I think 10 is a good number for him. So let's pull up DeAndre Ayton. So it'll load. And then we're going to look at his rebounds line at 9.5. So we can get him can't get him at 9.5 on Prizepicks anymore. Let's see here. So if we take 8.5, it's a 1.8x. You got to take 10.5 on Prizepicks. Prizepicks be, I don't know why they removed a 9.5. This was up a minute ago, literally at 9.5, and it gave us good value with KD. That being said, let's see if they have it on over here on Parlay Play, because Parlay Play might be the place to go. So Parlay Play at 9.5 boards with KD. You got a 1.8x, gives us a 2.81x, your $10 free square. You have a free entry available. Each free has a fixed amount. I thought it was $10 max. Okay. So my free square is a $5 max, but it says up to $10. That makes 0 sense. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take 8 and 8.5 just to give me a double up and just, okay, cool. Yay, $5. So now I have $5 more in promo, which I'm just going to literally lock in 2 random plays. Don't do what I'm doing right here. I'm literally just locking in. I'm just getting rid of this $5 free bet so I can actually play a 1-unit play. I'm not worried about that slip. I'll lose $5 for fun, I guess. Anyways, that being said, we got that going. We got that first slip in if you want to tell it. It should let you do $10 on it. I don't know why it would not let me do more than 5 on this play, but it is over a double up. It's Ayton and then Durant if you want to play those 2, or you can play anything else you want, like my last play of the day, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I think Ayton does have a good game tonight, Borden. It says that Butler and Kuminga are game-time decision. I don't know if they actually are. I know in NBA they'll have a lot of players questionable all the time. Like, for example, LeBron will be, like, questionable every single game. But it is show Butler on here as questionable. I don't know if that's true. If Butler doesn't play, then that money line for Lakers obviously becomes a lot better. But I'm pretty sure he's playing, so I think that's just just like preemptive thing that they posted. But anyways, jumping into pick number 4 of the day, the last play that I'm going to be running today is going to be for our man Draymond Green. I'm taking Draymond Green, Golden State Warriors, taking him to give us rebounds and assists. Now his line is sitting at right at 10.5, I do believe. So rebounds and assists, 10.5 for our man Draymond. He cashed it 5 of his last 10 games of the season, averaging right at 9.7. Last season overall, he cashed this 59% of the games, and 11.42 was his average. Head-to-head versus the Lakers, he cashed it 2 of 3 games. Draymond actually kind of turns up a little bit for the Lakers in terms of rebounds and assists. Now he's averaging 13.67 in those 3 games. He went under 1 game. His first game they played last season, which was on Christmas. He had 16 RA, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Now, if we look at the Lakers rebounds and assists defense, they give up 9th in the league and then 21st in the league in assists. So this is obviously last season's defensive stats. We don't know what's going to happen this game, but if you look at them to the power forward position, it's 4th and 9th, and then to the small forward position, it's 8th and 11th. 11th. Center position is 14th, 14th. They tend to give up a little bit more to the guard position in terms of assists, obviously, which that makes sense. But overall, I do think our man Draymond could give us 11, and I'm going to be locking that in. So you can take it in either his original line at 10.5, or you can take him at something lower if you want to play something lower. So rate, rebounds, and assists for Draymond, 10.5. You can play these. It's going to give you a 2.5x with any regular line on Prizepicks. So on parlay play, we're going to lock in a free play or lock in another play. So Draymond. So we're going to take Draymond, rebounds and assists. If it's on here, 10.5. And we're going to run this one with the Sengun boards, because I didn't lock in Sengun, I don't believe. So Sengun boards, I like them at 8.5, 8.5. This gives us a 2.97x, so 9 boards and then 10.5 RA. Let's lock this in. Let's put $250 on it to win 745 or 742. We're going to lock this in live, and I do want to make sure I didn't lock Sengun on this one. No, it was Ayton. So got Ayton and Durant play, and then we got Draymond and Sengun for a regular unit. So let's go ahead and lock in Durant and then Durant and Ayton on a play as well. And I can't play Durant at 21.5 or 20.5. We'll try 19.5 and see what the payout is with Ayton. If we can get Deandre Ayton, boards, 9.5. This is going to give us a double up on the dot. So I'm going to take a chance here. We'll take this. We'll lock this in, 250 to win 500, and that'll be the 2 main slips we have. So 2 main slips we got right now. Draymond with Sengun, RA and rebounds, and then we got DeAndre Ayton, rebounds with Durant points, which this is 500 to win. What is that? 1,242 if we cash both slips. And then obviously, don't even look at this one. I just clicked 3 random props that has Durant 23.5 points. I just was getting rid of that bonus play. And then right here we got Ayton with Durant, 8.5 boards and then 20.5 points for the free Durant square that they have. So if you want to play that, you can. So that's what I got for today, guys. I know this video was a little bit, I feel like it was a little sloppy, but it is what it is, man. I like these plays a lot. I think they're going to cash us out. I'm trying to do something a little bit different than what a lot of the other people are posting, because I see a lot of posts, Curry points, Doncic points. Like, I'm trying to fade, trying to get off of Doncic, trying to get off of Curry for this game, because I think there's going to be a lot of people posting about him. So I'm trying to post something a little bit different. Honestly, I think Doncic has a great game, obviously without LeBron. Curry versus the Lakers probably has a good game. I wanted to take Curry under 4.5 3-points made, but I talked myself out of doing that one, because that one's going to be really risky. But anyways, this is what I got for today, guys. Hope we cash out. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video after hopefully we get us that sweep.